Today, we are diving into one of the first and maybe the most important decision any entrepreneur has to make, picking a legal structure for their business. Now, I know, it doesn't sound nearly as cool as designing a product or building a brand, but trust me, if you get this wrong, the whole thing could come crashing down. So let's get into it.
Okay, so you've got it. That game-changing idea, the one that's going to shake things up. You're ready to go, ready to build. So, what's the very first step? Do you start with a prototype, a website, maybe a pitch deck? What's the first thing you actually construct?
You know, the answer might actually surprise you. Because before you build anything else, you have to build the foundation. And when it comes to business, that foundation, well, that's your legal structure. It's the blueprint that dictates how your company is going to operate, how it's going to grow, and crucially, how it's going to protect you.
So, why all the fuss? Why is this one choice so critical? Well, it's because the stakes are incredibly high. This isn't just about filling out some paperwork. This decision has a direct line to your money, your future, and your ability to succeed. Let's break down exactly what's on the line here.
All right, first up, liability. This is the big one, folks. Your legal structure literally draws a line in the sand, or it doesn't, between the business's money and your money. Think about it. If your company gets sued or racks up debt, can they come after your house, your car, your life savings? The right structure builds a firewall protecting everything you own personally. The wrong one? It leaves you wide open.
Next up, taxes. Yeah, nobody's favorite topic, but you have to deal with them. Your business structure determines how you deal with them. For example, does the business pay its own taxes on profits, or do those profits pass through directly to you, the owner, to be taxed on your personal return? This choice can have absolutely massive consequences for your bottom line.
And what about growth? What if you want to get bigger? If you ever plan on getting outside investment, we're talking angel investors, venture capital, your structure is everything. See, investors aren't just betting on your cool idea, they're putting their money into a stable, legally sound company. They need a structure that protects their cash and shows a clear path to a return. Some structures basically roll out the red carpet for investors, and others just slam the door in their face. Okay, so the risks are real. We get that. The big question now is, how on earth do you choose the right one? Well, it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal, but there is a really clear set of factors that can point you to the perfect fit for whatever your vision is. You've got to think a little bit like an architect here and consider a few key things. How complicated do you want the day-to-day management to be? What are your long-term goals? Are you building a small lifestyle business, or are you aiming to be the next huge global brand? You also have to think about the size and nature of your business. And, maybe most importantly, how much direct control do you really want to have? Each of these questions leads to a different answer.
So this really shows the basic trade-off. On one side, you've got something like a sole proprietorship. It's super simple to set up, you have total control, and it's perfect for a freelancer or a small business with low risk. But then on the other side, you've got more formal setups like an LLC or a corporation. Yeah, they're more work to get going, but they build that critical wall we talked about, that liability protection. It's really that classic balance of simplicity versus security.
But here's something that's so important to remember. This decision isn't forever. It's not set in stone. The absolute best structure for your company on day one might not be the right one on day 1,000. Your blueprint is meant to evolve as your business grows. Let's look at a real-world example of how this plays out. This kind of journey is actually pretty common. Take this online retail startup from Indonesia. It started out as a sole proprietorship. Simple, right? It was fast, easy, and let the founder just focus on building the actual business. But then, it worked. The business took off. They attracted their first investors, and all of a sudden, that simple structure just wasn't going to cut it anymore. So they evolved and converted into an LLC to handle the new challenges of a growing company. So why that specific move? What did switching to an LLC actually do for them? Well, it was a game changer. It hit 4 critical goals all at once. First, it gave their new investors the confidence and legal security they needed. 2, it immediately protected the founders' personal assets by limiting their liability. 3, it still allowed them to be flexible with how they manage things. And finally, it paved the way for all the future expansion they were dreaming of. And this all leads us to a really powerful shift in how you should think about this. Your legal structure, it's not just a box you have to check. It's not just some boring requirement. When you choose correctly, it becomes a powerful strategic tool. It's an asset that actually helps you win. When it comes right down to it, a well-chosen structure just makes everything easier. It simplifies all those legal and tax headaches. It clarifies how decisions get made, which avoids a lot of friction down the road. And it builds a framework that can actually scale with your ambitions, no matter how big they get. It basically just clears the path for you to grow.
Now, of course, you don't have to figure all of this out on your own. In fact, you probably shouldn't. As the source material makes perfectly clear, the single smartest thing you can do is get expert advice. Talking to legal and financial pros is pretty much essential if you want to make a decision that really, truly minimizes your risk while maximizing your strategic advantage.
So, we'll leave you with this one question to chew on. Think about your business, or maybe the one you're dreaming of starting. Is its foundation, its legal blueprint, built just for the company it is today? Or is it built to support the incredible company you want it to become tomorrow?